Kale, Kale, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? We are about to begin our program. I'm waiting for 2 to 3 people each side, then we begin. Can you share this program? It's campaign time. It's deliverance time for Uganda. Welcome to our political program, everyone. Whenever you are, I want you to share. I'm writing this to our good friend Jimmy Akena in Northern Uganda, UPC chairman and UPC Secretary General and UPC President for Northern Uganda. Good evening, good afternoon. And I'm also writing this to the refugees in Uganda from Eritrea, Ethiopia, Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, Sudan, South Sudan, all refugees that have come to Uganda. This program is for you. That's why I'm going to narrate it in English. Sometimes I always, when I'm teaching people, I always teach them in Uganda. But today I made sure that you understand it very well. I put it on record. My name is Richard Miombia, and I'm a political analyst here in the United States of America in Boston, Massachusetts. And I was also once a refugee here, and I'm fighting for the rights of our people and our country in Uganda, for the rule of law and democracy. That's why I'm going to analyze these issues here, because it's now time to choose the next leader to fix what has been done wrong by this junta and the Museveni. So I'm going to begin first of all with the issue of the refugees, in Uganda. The refugees in Uganda. What is that I'm telling you? The Eritrean, Ethiopian, South Sudan, Sudanese, Rwandans, Burundian, and Congolese. Because of the instability in the Great Lakes region that has been caused by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, for their building of the great socialist system in Africa, not only in Uganda, not only in Rwanda, not only in the surrounding. Okay, it came back. It's their program as their ideology to make sure that they build an empire, starting from Uganda, which was the beginning of the guerrilla war, then Rwanda, then Congo, and then the entire Africa in a socialist system. It has been their Bush dreams, and in part of that system, their goal is to make sure that they destroy the entire kingdoms and the system they found there in place, so that they can build the new empires. So the new empires of Rwanda, the new empires of Uganda, the NRM, where people have lost their rights as the government controlling them. That's why we are poor, and that's why we are in conflicts that are not ending. So part of the program has been to destroy what they call tribe. They destroy tribe and bring in new people in the area and take away their land, their voting rights, their decision, especially here in Uganda, because in Uganda is where all the guerrilla war started, in Ruelo. I don't know if you people know about this problem in Uganda, because some of you might be young and you are just coming in to the region. Museveni, in the recent years, after seeing that President Robert Kyagulanyi or Bobi Wine has taken over the entire area of Uganda and the people following him massively for a change and building a new country, Museveni opted to do a new tactic of causing more insecurity in the region so that the flow of refugees can come from Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, as far as Eritrea and Ethiopia, to give them voting cards, to give them national IDs, and give them an opportunity to vote so that they can override the decision of the people of Uganda. This is not right. That's why I'm writing to you. And this is why I'm telling you, frankly speaking, and advising you, we are going to create a new system in the region and the whole of Africa that will benefit everyone, not chasing away others from their own land and be giving it to other people. Now, let me first tell you the international law on the refugees, so that you may know that we are going to do this legally. And if you break the law by voting, because Museveni has given the right to vote in this election, you'll be expelling yourself from the region or from Uganda. If you go to the 1951 Refugee Convention, the key legal document outlining the rights of refugees does not give them political rights, including voting. What Museveni is doing it illegally to suppress the democracy and the rights of the people that live in Uganda, who are originally living in Uganda. We are 52 tribes. We have our problems. The reason why you have seen so much uprising in the recent elections and in the recent years is that the people have said no to Museveni and they are telling him to go. And he's going to use you to empower you, to give you rights of voting in Uganda. I'm just talking about Uganda now. We are telling you, if you vote, if we find your name, because eventually we shall take over government. The people of Uganda, that's why we hear the protest vote. We shall take over government of Uganda. Bobi Wine shall take over government of Uganda. The people of Uganda shall take over in any way. The constitution, the current constitution of Uganda, give Ugandans the right to uprise and kick out the government that is suppressing them if it takes away their right of voting and cheats an election. We lost 1.5 million people in Ruel because of irregularities in the election of 1980, if you don't know about these things. Museveni, who was part of the military commission, but because he had ambitions to wage a guerrilla war and establish his own thoughts of socialism and communism in Uganda, had to go to the bush in Ruel, which is Uganda. When he reached Uganda, the people joined and were able to kick out a well entrenched government of Milton Obote with 1.5 million lives lost in Ruel and Buganda region. So we are telling you where we are coming from. You might not know this conflict. We are trying and we are going to solve the conflict of Uganda starting 1945. We do not want you to engage in the partisan politics of the country. You are refugees. After Bobi Wine or President Robert Kyagulanyi takes over government, in any way, we shall take it. If Museveni cheats an election, there's going to be an uprising. That's why you see the protest vote. The people, all of the people in Uganda are going to rise up and kick him and his army out, whosoever turns against the will of the people. So We do not want you to engage in this. We want you to sit aside, because after the new government comes into power, the first thing we are going to do is the issue of refugees. We are going to solve conflicts. He has given you our land. He has given you the rights to own anything, businesses. On the other hand, he has been able to suppress people of Uganda and make sure he takes them out of their own country as refugees to other countries, and bring you in and gives you economic benefits in the country. We are not allowed to be employed. If you try to do business, we are overtaxed. Everything we try to do, you see, our people are now working overseas as prostitutes in Dubai. They're working as maids in Saudi Arabia, in Jordan, in Qatar, in everywhere. We want to turn the table around, but we do not want you to engage in this politics. You are not allowed to vote. If we find you, if you find your name on the voting list that you voted, you'll be given 1 month to leave. You'll be given 1 month to leave. If you vote in this election and you came in as a refugee from all these countries I've said, from Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, Eritrea, Ethiopia, South Sudan, Sudan. If we find you that you voted, because we shall get the list, and if we find you. So what are we going to do? Because this is a world concern and we have to follow the rule of law, the international rule of law, we shall go back to the United Nations, because most refugees are registered in Uganda, are registered with the United Nations Agency for Refugees. The first thing we shall do is to call a conference of the Great Lakes region and settle the conflicts of the region. Uganda is a conflict, Kenya is a conflict, Tanzania is a conflict, Rwanda is a conflict, Burundi is a conflict, Congo is a conflict, Ethiopia is a conflict, Eritrea is a conflict. We are black people. We are not stupid, because people look at us as if we are fools. We are ever fighting. We have deterred ourselves from development because of conflicts. We shall call upon all the governments and the people in the region that are mentioned below, from Sudan, South Sudan, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Djibouti, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, so that we settle the conflicts. Once we settle the conflict, we are going to draw ways of taking back refugees to their own countries in a peaceful way. Look at Congo. How many minerals are in Congo? How many refugees are in Uganda? Homeless, living in slums, where they left land in Congo. But because of the conflicts of Uganda that are supported by the Uganda and Rwanda, people everywhere are refugees, and now they are giving them rights to vote and determine the future of our country through rigging an election. We are telling you, do not engage in this. I want it to know clear. That's why today I was teaching in English. I always teach in my mother language, which is Luganda, but today I'm teaching in English so that you can understand properly. If you hear me speaking and nagging, it's the way I was born. I was born with that this habit of nagging ever since I was young. It's not that I'm illiterate, no. It's because I've been nagging ever since my tongue gets entangled when I try to speak. You see, so that's why I was trying to tell you, do not engage in this. We are going to find ways of taking you back. Once we solve the problem of Ethiopia, we know the problem of Ethiopia is semi-federal, and the ownership of land that has created problems is semi-federal. Eritrea, the people are treated like dogs in their own countries. That's why there are so many now in Uganda. There are even Babas, they're everywhere, taking over our land. taking over our country. Now they are taking over our voting rights in the country with Museveni. So we are telling you this frankly. Do not engage in the politics of this country of Uganda. Because when the conflict boils to the point of no return, we do not want you to be victims, because the people are tired of what they are seeing in Uganda. And when the uprising starts, it's going to be bad. We do not want that. We are not war promoters. We are not violent people, as you have found in Uganda. We are peaceful people. But once people rise up, when the election is reached, because the people of Uganda are trying to demonstrate their will with President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, or you call him Bobby Wine, peacefully. They are going to vote, they are going to protect the vote, and they are going to keep it, and they are going to see the Electoral Commission what it's going to do. If it announces the wrong candidate, Muhoozi is ready to take the government by force of arms. The people will not allow. The people of Uganda have lost under Idi Amin 1.5 million people. No, under Idi Amin, we lost 500,000 people. In the central, in Uganda, under Milton Obote, we lost 1.5 in Uganda, because we are the largest majority of the people. That's why Museveni started the war in Uganda. If you don't know the background, as the people, do not engage in our partisan politics. The refugees do not engage. I want you to understand this properly. So we shall use the international law. We shall use to take you back. We shall help you resettle. How many billions and trillions of US dollars have been wasted away with the conflicts in the Great Lakes region? Let me tell you, when Museveni came to power in 1986, there were so many refugees in Uganda, in the conflicts that were there. Do you know what he did? The United Nations told him, no, we are going to send you trucks to take back these people. Museveni told them, no, they came walking, we have to facilitate them, and they are going to walk back to their own country. Those were the areas of Arua, the border area in Congo. So we are not going to do it that way. No, we are going to do it in a good way. We are going to build in outward roads to these countries, especially Congo. The roads are very bad. Sudan, we are going to build factories. We are going to empower the refugees, because we are going to start a great engine of manufacturing in the Great Lakes region. I think you understand this very well. I'm writing this and I'm explaining this to the refugees. Do not engage. Do not make that mistake. If you make that mistake and we find your name, because eventually we shall take over government, and Biabakama knows it is a judge, that what he's doing is illegal under international law. But because he's a card of Museveni, he's doing it anyway. What can we do? What can the people of Uganda do? So that's why we are telling it to you. Give this to the Ethiopian, Eritrean. One day, yesterday, I met a group of Ethiopians and we had a very tough discussion about this. He says, you people, you are saying that as soon as you take government, you are going to kick the Ethiopians and the Eritreans. You know who's giving them all these rights? Yoweri Museveni. I told them it's a bad policy. It's a policy because it's being made by the president. A new president will make a new policy. Who is Bobby Wine? Who is Kyagulanyi? The policy that benefits the people of Uganda. That's why people have risen up so much to support him. Museveni's policy on Uganda are wrong. It's not building a country. It's building an ideology. The Pan-African ideology on the wrong side of China, Russia, North Korea, and all these dark democracies. We are turning the country to the Western democracies. America, Britain, European Union. So that's why I was telling it to you in my mother language. And now we go to the issue of Akena in northern Uganda, because this is an issue that we need to use as a strategy to win this election. And if the election is reached, so that they join, he rallies the people of northern Uganda to join the protest vote. Akena is having a problem. The reason why Akena is having a problem in northern Uganda is the legitimate president of the party. It's their party. UPC has the largest stronghold in northern Uganda. All northern Uganda is UPC. The rest were joining only after. But the original of Obote's UPC was northern Uganda, who had power in Uganda and who had power all over Uganda and want to come back to rule. Now we are telling it to you, Akena. Listen carefully. Bobby Wine or Robert Chagwan is not going to take away UPC. Is not going to demote UPC. If you see American democracy that we are going to establish in Uganda, the mandate of the people under their umbrella. Here we have two parties, big parties. We have the Democratic Party. We have the Republican Party that is under a good president here, President Trump. Because the people need him, they brought him back to fix what is wrong. So, the democracy we are going to build, first of all, is the democracy where people of northern Uganda choose the leaders they want. If they want their leader to be the president of Uganda and go to the vote and canvass for votes all over the country, then he's the president of Uganda. No one is going to suppress you, because the reason why Museveni is doing this is very, very simple. Because Museveni lost support in Uganda, he's not getting any support. Busoga, he's left with the Western, part of the Western, of which he suppresses them in an election to not to allow them to vote. Now, the only alternative he has was to go in the northern Uganda. That's where there's a chief justice. That's where there's a vice president. That's why there's this DP Mao, everything, so that he can get a coalition. Because he lost in Uganda and Busoga. Now he's running to the north in the military and in everything. These are all conflicts that we are fighting to end in the region, because we cannot develop unless we settle the conflict. Dr. Jimmy Akena, listen to us. We want you to join Kyagulanyi to liberate the country. This is a liberation. We are liberating the country first, then we build a new democracy. That's why there's going to be a Ugandan conference in Uganda. Every 6 months, we are going to come into a conference room. We are going to be sitting down to make a new democracy. What type of system of government do we want? Do we want this current system, or do we want a federal system of government? Because it's all about economies, finances, and leadership. We are saying, all other people are saying, look, we are opting for a federation where the great region of the northern Uganda, a government of federal in Acholi and in Lango. Listen to us clearly. We proposed, and it's still a proposal, that if we bring in the democracies, for example, American democracy, where we share power equally. The guardian is the Senate, and the lower one is the House of Representatives, where the people of the region, the representative, they choose the representative to represent them in the lower house. And in the upper house, each region gets 2 senators. Now it comes to the issue of equilibrium in democracy, because Choli and Lango are brothers, but they are 2 different brothers. So we are saying in the conference, when you're doing this redrawing of the democracy in Uganda, we are saying, no, Choli gets 1 member, Lango gets 1 member, but be given the right in 1 week. If one member dies, in a week, the governor will bring in the governor will appoint in someone, like in some areas here. If you study American democracy like we did, that's how they do it. So the issue of the Achoris and Langis to join the protest vote is to kick Museveni out. After we kick Museveni out, we are going to sit down. We are going to sit down and withdraw the politics and the economic benefits of the country, because now you see the Banyankores are eating, the Rwandans are eating. How do you see it this way? How do you see it this way, Dr. Akena? How do you see it this way? That this Salim Saleh, a Tanzanian born, doesn't even know, because he came as a refugee from Tanzania with his mother on the side of Museveni. Now he's the governor, he's the second president in Uganda, and he's based in the northern region. Do you know why? Because he fears that you people, once you join the rebellion of kicking Museveni out after the protesting vote, Museveni will be gone, never to return. You have to understand that you have to put aside your desires and join and rally the people of northern Uganda, so that we liberate the country and we grow the democracy. In a federal system of government, we are going to get back the land to the people. These are the first thing. We are going to kick out the refugees out of Uganda, the Indian, the Chinese, and the so-called Eritrean and Ethiopian and everything. And we are going to bring back the land and the economy in the hands of the Ugandans under a capitalist system, where the ownership of land, because you cannot build capitalism without land, settling the land issues. The factories are owned by the people of Acholi, the people of Uganda. The manufacturing, the distribution, the profits are all in the hands of Uganda. Instead of Museveni's policy, where the people of Uganda are servants, because his aim is to make sure that everyone is poor, to submit under the NRM new empire that he wants to expand all over Africa. That's why you see the unending conflicts in Congo, which is being fueled by Museveni and Kagame. So this is very important to you, Dr. Jimmy Akena. We lost so many people in Uganda. We lost it under Pandagari. We lost it under the Ruwero War. Actions that were done by the people of northern Uganda. The people of Uganda have let it go. As of now, we do not want that to happen again. But the protest vote must be joined by every Ugandan, every political party in Uganda to kick Museveni out. Because the reason he's barring you, know it very well. He fears you. He wants to have you out so that the people of northern Uganda submit to the NRM and elect NRM members, and then your party goes into the basket of trash and history. I think you understood me on this. So this has been done. We go to the issue of creating jobs. President Bobby Wine or Robert Chagwan, he said in the first 5 years he's going to create 10 million jobs. Yes, we drew up a plan that in 5 years there will be 10 new jobs, 2 new jobs, Ugandan jobs for Uganda under a capitalist system, because the war between China and America has reached a point of no return. We have the plan, a working plan that is going to give the benefits and the wealth. If you look at the background before Deng Xiaoping came to America, I think you remember this history. You're a politician. You know what Deng Xiaoping said? He said money is good, because under the old political system of China, the people were subdued under the communist system to be beggars in their own country, to be poor people. And Deng Xiaoping said, no, money is good. I'm going to transform. I'm going to align with America. That's what Deng Xiaoping did. That's what we are going to do. That we are going to align with America on day one, as soon as Chagwan is going to take the leadership of the country. We do up the way we want it. We create jobs. Speed. The first thing we are going to begin with is the infrastructure, because the controlling of the rivers and dams is going to take time. If you look, you see the bad weather and the bad roads in Uganda, we are going to work on them. But if you see controlling the floods, we are going to use the system like the American used in the TVA. That's why we created the Uganda Development Authority. That's why we divided the country, the Northern Uganda Development Authority, the Buganda Development Authority, the Busoga Development Authority, the Eastern Development Authority, the Western Development Authority, the Southern Development Authority, but under a Fibonacci. But this will take time to build and control and create so much electricity. The first thing we are going to do, like China did many years ago, is to create so many farms. Solar and wind energy is the first beginning, because our mountains are there, our solar system can come from there, and our rivers and lakes are there. The rest that we are going to build, because we have to build barracks for the people that are going to build back the environment, because we are going to borrow the money. We are going to borrow the money, and we are going to use our resources to educate our own children from primary nursery or primary one up to the university overseas here in America, like Deng Xiaoping did. The same way we are going to be doing it. Instead of Museveni saying, no, I'm going to get the resources of the country under Muhoozi, his son, and then give it to the army. Give the lakes. Remember what had just happened in Busoga here, what had just happened? On President Robert Chagwani Center Monde. He was not allowed to go in one of the lake areas there. I don't know which area we saw it. He was not allowed because the lakes and rivers have been taken over by the army, so that they get something to eat, something to benefit out of this system of Museveni. For us, we are saying no. We are going to get back the lakes, give it to all Ugandans, and make sure we have so much to put there and so much to get out. Look at what happened in China when they transformed the economy. About the rivers and the lakes China has and the seas China. Massive investments was put there, modernizing, cleaning, so that every person in Uganda can make money out of the lakes. Every Ugandan can eat as much as he can, because that's a capitalist system. That someone can go to the lake and afford the fish, or he can have the fish brought to the supermarket and he can afford it cheaply. This is all our aim of creating a new Uganda. Chicken. Last time we were talking about this, how we are going to do to make sure there's too much food for us, because our land has been able to shrink because of overpopulation Museveni has caused in the last 40 years. As we are putting back the refugees where they belong and giving the country back to the Ugandan, we shall align with America, because America now has a problem. America has a problem. China is playing games. The food that America has been exporting to China as an exchange of trade, because for an economy, you must be exporting and importing. China has blockaded America from exporting its products here, food products here, from soya bean, from the farms. Here in America, we can see the farmers are suffering. We are going to align with America. We are going to build great railway systems to transport goods in and out, and the supplies we are going to bring in Uganda. Remember, if you can ask your friends, they can tell you what happened in 1979 after the war of Idi Amin. How many bags of this yellow corn were brought in from America to the whole of Uganda? We are not going to be bringing it by aeroplane. We are going to be bringing it by trains from Mombasa, from Dar es Salaam, and bring it to the Great Lakes region, as we are exporting finished products to take China out of this region of Africa and against America, who they are fighting with. We have a good plan. We want you to support. We want to see the environment of northern Uganda change. Modern wealth, capitalism, factories, So we are beginning with the solar and wind farms. We got now to this one. Dr. Akena, I'm now on you. The high transport cost latter agro exports. I brought here a sample of this to show you. Entula. I brought this Entula here. I have them, you see them in Tula here. You know how much I bought this box, small box of Entula? It comes once a month in a year in America, and it's being grown by a Ugandan here in America, in Washington State, and it's brought here. They come, it distributes it. One box costs $50. One box costs $50. In the beginning of the economy, these are the things we are looking at. We have the fertilizers in Tororo that we are going to use in reconstructing our ground and refertilizing our ground. How much could this be exported to America? How much this could be exported to Europe? Yes, I'm just telling you how we are going to create an economy. Everyone is going to be busy as we are building industries. The way we are going to build industries, we are going to start in the small scale industries. In region called the Great Lakes region, every person is needed. The Balaro are needed. They know how to take care of the cows. The sheep are needed. The goats are needed for me. Everyone is needed. We are going to reorganize the country. But we have to kick Museveni out. But we cannot kick Museveni out when other people are saying no. We want you on board. He has taken you off the ballot box. Now it's the chance to rethink and tell the Northern Uganda people, please support Bobby Wine, support Kyagulanyi, and kick Museveni out. If he cheats an election, the protest vote. Northern Uganda, Karamoja, Buganda, Busoga, Eastern region, Western region, Kabale, Tororo, everywhere. Protest vote. Because it's in the Constitution. You know it. It's in the Constitution. So that we open this door. Now he wants to bring his son. So, we go to this one. Uganda, African Union destroy firearms to curb small weapon. There was a big fire. So many guns were banned. I think 100 and something by Museveni that is trying to create security. Dr. Akena, the way we are going to create security is not to take away and destroy this weapon like this. The insecurity is caused by Museveni himself. The insecurity is caused by unemployment and underdevelopment. The security will be given under the new constitution that we agree on, all of us, to the regions, to the federal regions, the federal police, instead of the police of Museveni calling from State House that the DPC somewhere in Busoga has orders from above. Please don't allow that man going to campaign and go to that area. The orders from above. The orders for the security and police will be under your arms, under your control in that region. Choli and Lango police. There, people have jobs, people have food, people have hope, people have development, people wake up, good houses, wealth, and everything. If you look at China today, the economy of China today, you can't believe where it was in 1990. The same way we are going to do it. We go to the issue of this. To this one. China is building great wall of energy. That is wind and solar energy. It's the way we are going to do it. But under Museveni's system, the way he does industries, he brings in foreigners, say Chinese, because they are co-investors in the wrong land. Their children and their families are the owners, the co-owners of these factories, of the Indian. Where are my Indians? Because they are owners in these factories. What we are going to do when we are building this massive energy, we are going to create our own industries from every part of the country, small and big. The wind turbines and everything, we shall manufacture them in Uganda by our people, by the industries of our own people. And they are the one benefiting in this. But the energy will be under the control of the government to make sure that the tariffs are low, the price of the tariffs are low. Because in the long run, as we start with this massive reconstruction of the electrical grid in Uganda, as it grows, after we get so much energy from the dams and the rivers, after we have controlled them, then we scale back. We have a good plan. Support Chagwa and support Bobby Wine, but not Museveni. If you divide now and sit aside, it's bad. We now go to this one as I finish. Bail granted to 12 NUP supporters as robbery charges are dropped. You know what happened. You're a politician, Dr. Akena. You see what is happening on the NUP supporters. After spending so many months, the judge has decided. That's a judge. That's a judge. That's a judge. That's now the charges are dropped. The jails are full, including Waisom from our good comrade. He's in jail. We were with him here. Now he's in jail. They just come up with these cases and put people in jail because of political differences. We told you the way we are going to build our justice system is totally different. Not only us, but the Ugandan. That's why we are calling that conference when we are doing a new constitution, putting it in place, and every 6 months we have to go in and see and make it open for 10 years, not close it like in Museveni. What do we do? Like in your case, last week I was talking about your case. I said that the case would have gone direct to the Supreme Court. How? Your area, the judge in your area, the High Court judge in your area, had to hear that case. Then the appeal is not going to be heard in the Chori and Lango region. It would have been what they call in America the Fifth Circuit Court, that area of northern Uganda. But for example, now your case, if it went for an appeal in the Circuit Court, it would go somewhere in Imbale or Karamoja, somewhere there, because we have to make it like this. If it fails, then we go to the Supreme Court quickly. How can someone stop you from contesting for the president because he fears you? Now he thinks that you are subhumans. You're not allowed to be allowed on a ballot box, on a ballot paper, because he fears you, because he wants to take all those votes and the political will of the people. As I finish, this is the last one. Medical camp exposed health care gaps in the West Nile. There's no health care system in Uganda. We have to build totally new one, modern one, international one. How are we going to do it? Our boys and girls that have finished high school, those that have not finished high school, the young girls and boys that are in Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, the backbone of the healthcare system are the nurses on an international level. We are going to bring them to America. That's what China did. Deng Xiaoping did. We are going to bring them to America. As early as we take government, we bring them to America. We are not even going to stop there. It goes further with the education system, because all this goes under the dock of the money from the oil. We are going to build you are going to buy and build what they call chabadi houses near universities. That's what the Jewish people did. For us, we have been studying these people, how they did they build their economies and their countries to better countries. If a child is coming from Lango and Acholi and is coming to study to be to do radiology, where is he going to stop? or where is he going to sleep? We are going to buy houses, big one. We are going to build. These are the agreements that China made with America. And the Jewish people did the same. We build our own here in America. Everywhere there is a good university, where everywhere there is a place where our children are going to study, he comes from there, he goes there for free, he studies for 18 months, 20 months, he comes back, he pays, we pay him very well in the healthcare system. So that the healthcare system is on an international standard. We shall go further, like China did, because once we train so many on an international scale, then we shall be exporting nurses like China is doing today. China is exporting nurses. But before, they were substandard. So instead of our children going to Dubai, our children going to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, young, beautiful girls, young men, they take organs out. We shall do that way to uplift our healthcare standards so that in the first 5 years, the healthcare system, training these nurses takes 18 months. 18 months. 18 months. We pay them very well. They come back. And if they need them, because they have international training, American training, they can be hired everywhere. That way we shall work out how we shall do it. In the constitution room, in the conference room, because now someone, instead of going working in Uganda where the jobs are not there as trained nurses, and Saudi Arabia wants him as a nurse, you know how much is going to be paid a year? About 70,000, because he was trained in America. The only way we have to work out is how do we benefit and get back the money, because we trained you. We say now you are going to be paying taxes, overseas taxes, if you're an unexported worker. But all of that we agreed in a conference room. We agreed. Not Museveni Yagambye, not Museveni has said that thug, that murderer. So I think I've finished. Okay, now there's this one. Let me finish this one. Sorry, let me finish this one. Trump administration taps Army Reserve and National Guards for temporary immigration judges. The Trump administration taps Army Reserve and National Guards for temporary immigration judges. In America, there are lawyers in the army. The issue of immigration here in America, on this administration, has to be brought under control. The same as the issue of immigration in Uganda. The issue of immigration. Uganda is a choloni. Uganda is a toilet. If you go to Kenya, you cannot settle there. If you go to Tanzania, you cannot settle there. If you go to Rwanda, you cannot settle there. I don't know about Burundi and Congo. In Uganda, it's a choloni. Together as one under Kyagulanyi, we are going to put this immigration issue in control. Someone comes in, he's married, he's given a 10-year green card, and he lives there. We know who is there. We know who has the right to work. You know who has the right to vote in the lower government. We know who has the right to go. Not Museveni's issue. Everyone vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. So long as I've given you this national ID, go and vote and keep me in power and suppress the will of the people. No. We shall put it in control. Show us. Because the problem is here that people are fearing is because Uganda has so many refugees. Let me concentrate on this. There are people from Rwanda who came in here in the early 40s. They are there. They turned into Ugandans. There are those that came in Kazugu and we are here. We fought with them in Wales, you know that, up to 95. Those are Ugandans. And then there are those that after 95, what happened? Those who came in, they were only Rwandans, not Congolese. Not Congolese. I'll give you an example. There was a case, I think you can Google it up. I don't know if you can Google it up and see, or you can ask any lawyer to show you. There was the lawyer of Kapas, VS Uganda, and I think Mbabazi in Muyenga. These two brothers, one Kato and one Kapas, came in from Congo as refugees many years ago. When they came in Uganda, they adopted themselves into the system without following the legal procedure. Kapas was a TV and radio repairer in Zambia near that basic petrol station. He had children here, very beautiful young children. The girls were so beautiful. Then Kapas dies. Then Mbabaz comes and takes the land. Do you know how the judgment was done? He said by the time he bought this land, he was not a citizen of Uganda. And the judge ruled in favor of a thief because it was an NRM thief, Mbabazi. That land we are going to recover and give it back to the children. Whatever is there, big building, we are going to give it back. Because the children of Kapas, because it came in the 70s, the children of Kapas were born in Uganda. In Uganda, the judgment was bad on the children because the land had now to go in the names of the children. But the other one said no, the land was bought illegally. These are issues that we are going to look at. Everyone must know that there's going to be a massive shake-up in these land policies and immigration policies so that we can create jobs. We can put Ugandans to work. Someone came here from another country. He goes to Makerere University, cannot even speak English very well, cannot even speak Luganda, not any part of, not any language in Uganda. Now you find him in a DPC in northern Uganda beating your own people. Dr. Akena, this is now your docket. Dr. Akena, support Kyagulanyi in the protest vote. Let them vote for Kyagulanyi as president and let them vote UPC for the parliamentary seat and all those other areas, because the system is going to change. Because Museveni, what he thinks, by looking at Museveni's thought, school of thought, he thinks that his system of LC is going to be in Uganda forever. The LC system, you know how it was entrenched? Minister of Local Government, Jaberi Bidandisari. That baby cool start. Minister of Jaberi Bidandisari. Every cabinet you support, Minister of Local Government, Jaberi Bidandisari. The system was built. Now people are fighting for the small break. No, the way we are going to do it, we are going to agree on a new system and we are going to pay off the old system and then incorporate it into the new system of government. You were here, you were an LC, now the LC is gone. Now you go to the town in your area. You are paid there, the army is going to be paid, the police is going to be paid to create a new police. The system, people working in the system, you were LC5, sort of Mayumba Kumi. Now we are going in this one. Then we are going to put laws, the anti-corruption laws, the anti-corruption authority. We are going further than that. We are going to put anti-corruption banks. You work in the government, we want services to the people, we shall give you an opportunity to go to the bank. Big money. How much money do you want instead of stealing? How much money do you want instead of stealing? You borrow money as a civil servant to start a business, to do something, because we are going to create a system that has never been created anywhere in Africa and anywhere in the world. We took so much time in this. So that's the way we are going to do it. So, see you when I see you. I'm about to get up now. This thing is is verifying me. Okay, so see you next week. Bye.